Well, hello friends. Today we are going to do more browser hacking, and it's going to be about background images. So I figured I would just add support for having a background image on a page, right? And we'll do it in the old HTML body background style. So, I mean, effectively we'll turn into this, but we want it to be more like body background, cool.png or whatever. So we'll grab some cool 90s website background. Like what were some typical cool ones? I mean, this one, classic. Let's use that one, actually. It's perfect. So we're going to have to turn this into a PNG, but we can do that with GIMP. So let's just export as, and I will put it in my Serenity base home non dub dub dub. I'll call it 90s BG .png, and let's use automatic. See if we can load it, because Brandon worked on PNG, the PNG decoder, a while back, and added a bunch of additional PNG features. So I think maybe now we might actually be able to load this, because my original decoder could only do what was it, RGBA, 8 bits per channel, but now it would be cool if, yeah, so like now I don't have to worry so much about that. Usually if GIMP saves something, we can usually load it, so that's awesome. Thank you, Brandon, by the way. So let's forget about that, and then let's see if we can make a test page for this. So let's see, maybe should we do this to the default page? I guess it would be kind of funny. So let me put that here, because I'm not going to put it here because I don't want to do the parsing of the URL thing, because normally what you would do is this, right? 90s PG PNG, but I don't want to parse URL right now, so I'm just going to put it here, and we'll worry about parsing the CSS equivalent later. But if we open this in Firefox, we'll see that it actually now looks kind of dumb because the text color is all wrong, so we'll change that. And maybe we'll brighten this up a little bit. This is starting to look extremely 1990s, which I love, obviously. Let me just change the... what am I thinking? I want to change the color of the link to a little bit brighter. So let's say 4F instead of just 00F. Just a little touch up on the color. I think that's a bit nicer. Okay, and since I'm doing it anyway, I'm just gonna add a v-link. Although in Serenity we don't actually support visited links yet, but in the future we will, and this will give us something to target. So I guess F4F. Yeah, that looks kind of neat. It's not quite as dark as I wanted it. I'm getting really into the important details here, so let's see. Oh. Well, geez, what's going on here? What? Firefox, why are you doing this? I just want to see the page. Okay, well, that's good enough for me. Freaking browsers, right? No wonder people would want to write their own. Okay, so now that we have that here, let's see what it would render like at the moment, just to see what we are working with. So now the page looks like this instead. And it's just so pretty with the hover effect. So anyways, let's go ahead and do the wait, this looks weird though. Why is it like that? I would expect this to be white. There should be dots here. Okay, but let's ignore that for now and just focus on the background. So let's see. First thing we'll do is go in the body element, because we have to notice that the background attribute in the body element is a presentational hint, which is what the CSS spec, like the modern specs, call basically like this old school attributes that are supposed to have some sort of effect on the CSS. So we'll just, this is where we apply all of the presentational hints that we can find in an element. So if we encounter a background attribute, we will basically translate it to CSS. So let's say style, set property. We'll need background image, and then we'll make something new like an image style value. And we're going to create it with, I guess, the URL that's in the value. So this thing doesn't exist yet. We have to make that up, and then this thing doesn't exist either. So we can start by adding a background image property. And we're going to need a style value that's an image. It's going to be, I'm not really sure how we're going to solve this, but we'll figure it out. So what's a really simple one, like this one? Inherit. Let's take that and change it. So an image style value is it's gonna represent like a CSS value in a style sheet that refers to an image, right? So we want it to be able to load an image. I guess that's the important part. Const, well, let's say URL, actually, like this. And we'll include ACK URL. And that means that in body we have to actually pass it a URL instead of just a string. But we can do that by completing the URL. Complete URL is for, it turns relative URLs into absolute URLs based on the document, where the document is on the web. So that's what it's for. So if a URL is already absolute, then it doesn't have to do anything. So to string here, we can just say something like image, maybe something like this. MURL to string characters. So let's store that. Okay, so far so good, but of course we also want to load this thing. So this is the trickier part. So we want to load it And then when it finishes loading, because loading is going to be asynchronous, so when it finishes loading, we want to have some kind of a notification for that. So for that to work correctly, let me just start writing the loading part, so you'll see what I mean when we get there. So we do this. And I should probably do this in the CPP file instead. Do something like that. I think we're gonna have it get the document as well, like that. And we want the document because we want to be able to tell it that the image finished loading, so you have to redraw something, basically. It's not going to be very granular at the moment. You know, a smart solution would figure out exactly what needs to be redrawn and then only redraw that. But we're gonna hit a little harder and just redraw everything. But it should still be fine. So I think we're gonna have a little const problem here. Or yeah, right. So because we want to pass the document to this, oh no, not like that. Here. But that's not const. So I'm gonna be lazy here and just do this for now. But it's not perfect. I have to come back and think about that one. Okay, so here we want to fire off a resource load. So we'll get the resource loader. Load URL and then hit me with oh, actually, this should not be a reference just like this, because there's no guarantee that the document will stay around. So we should actually keep this in a weak footer like this. And we'll need a weak footer for that. Yeah, that's better. And then here we will make a weak footer to document. And it's going to give us the data. Right? Give us a byte buffer. Yeah. Okay, so if document, if the document has disappeared, we can just do nothing. Otherwise, bitmap is load PNG from memory data size, and we'll need the PNG loader for this. And then if bitmap return, otherwise we'll say document update. Well, what we really want to do is we want to repaint everything. Because, how do we do that? Document set needs display, but there's no such thing. Document repaint. Let's see. So if we want to repaint at the moment, we have layout node. Set needs display. which will tell the frame that the frame needs to repaint something. Frame set needs display. But what if we would call it with an empty rect? We would say that that means that you want a full repaint. We can do that. So in style image, what was it called? Style image style value. We'll do mdocument frame. We're going to need the frame. No, not font cache, frame. There we go. Set needs display. Okay, so that's a full repaint. Do a full repaint. Do less than a full repaint if possible. Okay, so when the frame gets told to do a full repaint, then he will invoke this hook. And this hook is set up by HTML here. So this is what happens. Basically, we just take the rect coming from the repaint request from inside of HTML, and then we translate it to the HTML widget, and then tell the windowing server to update that part of our rect. So here we can just do something like if content rect is empty, we'll say that that means that we should just update everything. Okay. I guess we needed to have graphics bitmap here. Or what am I trying to build now? Okay, maybe I was trying to be a little too lazy here with these. So let's just do this to make it hackable. Otherwise you have to include graphics bitmap everywhere anyway. C++ and its stupid header situation. I guess that's one thing I'm looking forward to someone finally fixing one day. Okay. So far we're good, but we're not actually doing anything with this value, and we don't have the bitmap exposed anywhere. But now we can do that. So we can say bitmap. So then when we paint something and it has one of these as the background image, then we should ask if it has a bitmap. And then if there is a bitmap, we should tile that bitmap across the whole thing. So that would be in layout box. This is basically where we render any CSS box. Or that's not exactly true because it doesn't include line boxes, but any non-line box. And what we do for the background color is right here. So if there's a background color CSS property set, then we will paint that. So I guess we should do background image afterwards. So property, CSS, property ID, background image has value, and value is image. I did not add one of those, so let's add one of those. Is image. Okay, so we have an image. Now we want to image style value or image value. Oh, why can't I do that? Because of the reason if image value dot bitmap. Then finally, context painter draw tile bitmap, our padded rect, and we will slap in there the image value bitmap. Okay, how will this go? I guess we'll find out. The image tiling code is not terribly well tested. It's used for the tiling wallpaper mode, but I never test that. So, oh, ooh, crash. Well, it looked good at first. So what do we have? Weak footer to document is failing because yeah, okay. Where are we? We're in a lambda in image tile value. So we're in this lambda right here. Did this thing go away itself? You know, it's not great that you can schedule a resource load and then you can disappear yourself. Style value, these are ref counted. So we could just be lazy here and do something like non-null ref footer protector. Yes. And we can protect ourselves like that. It's a bit ugly, but just to move forward. Okay, that's pretty neat. So now we have this problem that, I mean, I'm just going to appreciate the neatness for a moment, but you can see that it doesn't render down here, and that's because the body element, it doesn't actually continue all the way, which is a bit annoying, but we had the same problem when doing the body background color. So what the hell did I do for that? Fill rect. Yeah, right. So we ended up in HTML view for something that has a document background color. We just fill that in. So this is a bit weird. I wish that the I'm like thinking, like, what's the right solution here for this? Like, is this really smart? Just want to test something out, so bear with me. Welcome, and then we'll set a, I don't know, a margin. Maybe like that. Just want to see what that looks like if we have that margin. Then yeah, right. So it still fills the body background even though it's margin. So I guess body is special in that way, because you're not going to paint inside of, you're not going to paint the margin of some random element and fill that with a background image, but body is special. So maybe we should do the same thing here. How do we get the background image? I guess we're going to need some help for that. So we'll say if mDocument background image background bitmap. We'll do like that. Painter draw tiled bitmap. Background bitmap. Okay, so then we'll need something to extract this. And then, in fact, if we have a background image, then we shouldn't bother with background color. So, yeah, let's not do that right now. I was thinking, like, what if you have a background color, but then a transparent bitmap? But yeah, okay, let's be correct, and let's do it that way. We could optimize this away if you have an opaque background image, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're going to need something that returns a background image if there is one. So that should be like this, background image. And it will work essentially the same way, that we will get the body element, and failure will just be like this. So get the body element layout node, and then get the body element layout node's background image property, and verify that it's an image. Or let's see, auto image value is image style value background, but color is the wrong name here, obviously. So value star that. If image value bitmap, if that's null, then we also fail. And then finally, bitmap. So if we do have a bitmap, so it's very similar to background color, but at the same time it's a bit different. And then now I'm thinking that, so like currently we'll fill in the HTML view will fill in the background before drawing anything else. Yeah, and then we're actually going to do the filling in the body once again. So probably we want to avoid that. Let's see, HTML view. This is going to be like how the body is painted. And then in layout box, we can ask if we are the body, then don't do anything, basically. If node and node is equal to document body. If you have no node, or the node is not the document body. I cannot compare those because I don't know what a HTML body element is, so we need that. And also this is kind of convoluted, so is body, let's say. And I'll just put that here. Return node, and node is equal to document body. And I guess we should put that out of line. I can see that my indentation is off, so we're going to need to fix that because we messed it up somewhere here. Yeah, there we go. If is body So we want if not this body, right? Yeah. Things should still look the same with this change. Or maybe we could find another cool background, actually. Cool 90s desktop wallpaper. Oof, look at those. Quite cool. Oh, that's a cool one. Well, I didn't want a desktop wallpaper, actually. Web background. And oh, some of these are so tasteful. But I don't want that one again. I want a different one. I have so many of these saved. I don't know why I'm looking for a new one suddenly. Okay, I want a cloud. Tiled cloud background. Okay, now we're talking. This will do the trick. Desktop. Doing important stuff here. Cloud. Because I'm going to put this on a separate element. So that's what I want to achieve. Cloud, PNG, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then base home anon, and then we can do a div here. I'll put this in there. Oh shit, but now I can't parse that. The parsing. Frick. Okay, okay. Let's cheat. Cloudy. We're gonna cheat here and just pretend that there's no URL thing in CSS, and we'll just put the file name directly. Cloud PNG. And then in style resolution, or I guess we'll have to go in the CSS parser. So if we're parsing a CSS value, then we really would like to know what the property name is. So we'll have to we'll pass him the what kind of property we're parsing. Okay, and then if property ID is background color, then we will return an image style value. Oh crap, we need a document as well. I can't get to the document. Damn it. That's annoying. I want to get to the document from here. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to refactor the CSS parser so that it knows what document it's parsing for. And that's going to take a little too long for this video, so I'm just going to say stop there, and we'll work on committing what we have instead. So let's remove the cloudy thing, and we'll get back to that some other time. And the parser, we can undo that change, right? And okay, so patch review, I forgot to say. So here we're just tweaking the welcome page so that it has a background. And I should not forget to add that cool background. And then we're just adding the background image CSS property. And then in style value, we're inventing this image style value, which has a URL that it will load asynchronously. And then when it finishes loading, it will decode it as a PNG and then repaint the entire frame that it was loaded inside. So this is very suboptimal, but it does work, basically. And then in style value, we're adding the image style value subclass, which is a URL, a document, and a bitmap. Kind of cool. But nothing terribly special about that. And then in document, we add a background image because HTML view needs to get that so that it can fill in the background for us. And then for the body element, when we encounter the background property, we turn that into a CSS background image property. So that's cool. And then in HTML view, when we get told to that like an empty rect needs to be displayed, then we redisplay everything. So that's how we do the full repaint when the load of the background image is finished. And here we extract the background image in HTML view rendering so that we tile the background image if there is one. That's just because, like I was saying, the body element can be smaller than the document viewport, so we have to make sure that we fill in everything because the body element background should be filling the entire viewport no matter what. And then in layout box, I just put this inside if not as body so that we let HTML view fill in the body background, and then layout box can fill in the background of everything else. So actually we can verify that this still works by just checking like this little, yeah. So you can see these backgrounds are still filled because they are not the body. Okay. And the code that draws the background image is just if there is a background image value and it is an image and it has a bitmap, this effectively means that the bitmap has finished loading and we were able to decode the image. Then we will tile that bitmap. Simple, effective, cool, awesome. And finally, here's that little helper to tell us if the layout box represents the body element. That's just so we know that we don't have to fill in the background for those. Okay, so well, we'll leave that one for some other day. So implement simple basic tiled background image support. It's now possible to set an image, a page background image via with body background. Let's say via. HTML view handles all body, handles the body element. Also, HTML view now officially whatever it is, color or image. Layout box is responsible for other backgrounds. Cool. Note that it's not yet possible to use the CSS background image correctly since we can't parse them yet. Okay. That's pretty cool. So let's see it one more time, huh? Adorable. But why is that? So these are like these are lists. So I wonder why that list bullet doesn't show up. We should see the bullet. Where's the bullet, bro? List marker. We get the style. Okay, let's have a look at it. So it uses the text color, but maybe it has the wrong text color. Layout list item marker. It appears to have no style. I guess that would explain why it doesn't work. Oh yeah, looky here. See, it just has an empty style. We should be inheriting style for this guy. So a list item marker always has a parent. So let's just go directly to the parent and get style from him instead. Because the marker is always owned by the principal box for the list item, which is this one. So now we get the style from this one instead. It's a little bit weird that because it's a layout box, then it's required to have some kind of style, and maybe the right thing to do here would be to have the parent's style, but currently it's not accessible to us at the moment of construction. So that's something that should be refactored so that we would be able to get the parent style directly and instead of having to do it here. So fix me. It would be nicer to not have to have a parent here to get our inherited style. Yeah. Use the inherited color for layout list item marker. Correct, inherited color. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at it again because it's so neat. Look at that cool background. How cool is that? So I guess that's going to be it for today's video. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching, for hanging out, as I continue to build a browser. Apparently, I'm a bit surprised that I ended up doing this so soon, but it is very fun. I hope it's interesting to watch as well. Yeah, so thanks for hanging out, and hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.